And a very big thank you to the RRG Group, who are my latest sponsor and will be throughout the season, going home and away all over Europe, the FA Cup, of course the Carabao Cup as well, and in the Premier League. Thanks for your support, guys. Well, this is a rare privilege. Lee Jackson, who is the groundsman, the head groundsman of Manchester City, has allowed me on his beloved pitch today. And in a second I'm going to talk to him and find out what his match day routine is and how it all works. But when you stood out on the middle of this magnificent pitch, those are the match officials behind me testing the Hawkeye technology in the goal behind me, you realise just how perfect it is. And when you think you've got a good garden at home, it compares nothing to this. I'll show you the pitch and then we'll meet Lee. Look how good that is.
I've been at City now 28 and a half years.
So you're a City fan, aren't you?
Yeah, so hence the grey hair.
What does a day preparing this pitch mean? Because when you look at it, it is absolutely in perfect condition, and I know a lot of money's spent, but there's still an awful lot of work goes into it, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of our work's, pretty much what we get ready for today. We started as soon as the whistle went for the last game, so it rolls one game into another, and we're keeping an eye on things like the weather, things, the really boring things to those who don't do the job, things like fertilising, disease on the grass and what have you. But then a typical day like today, as we get to match day, we were all in early this morning.
What's
the pitch early this morning, about 7 o'clock.
Wow.
So but we've been in earlier, we've also been in later, so it just depends on kick-off times, etc. But with Premier League rules now, we have to have the pitch ready by a certain time as well, because of VAR testing, where they do camera calibration. So that's a bit of a new one for this season, and then we have Hawkeye come down as well about 5 hours before kick-off as well and do their testing. So there's a lot of things we have to fit around, so we just get it done and get out of their way and just wait for kick-off and do plenty of watering if the manager or the coaches want it, and pray for the win.
We'll catch up with you later and see how the day's gone. And there are the testers for the goal line technology. Perfect day for you. I'm sure it'll all be fine.
Fingers crossed.
So here's a great idea by the club. It's a walk to the stadium from near New Islington tram stop, which is led of course by the flag bearers and one or two fans holding colourful lanterns, and then a brass band, the New York brass band. I spoke to one of them a little earlier. Who are you and what's this?
We're New York brass band, we're new and we're from York.
So you're not from New York then?
No. And we're working for Beyond 90, who've asked us to come and lead the parade from here to the ground and then do some tunes at City Square.
So you're hoping that quite a lot of people will follow you?
That's the plan.
Exercise the legs rather than go in the car or whatever?
Yeah, apparently they did one on New Year's Day and it worked well, so we're here to liven it up.
What tunes are you going to play then?
Don't know yet, we'll see. we might have a bash at Blue Moon, see what happens.
So what are these?
So these are the lanterns that we're going to give to the fans. We're going to walk all the way to the ground from New Islington. Then when we get there, we can all wave them around, and you're going to be following the band and the flags.
Brilliant.
No worries.
So this is your dad here, is it?
It certainly is.
This is Dad, bought in the tickets and can't wait for the game. Hope it's a good one.
How excited are you then?
Very excited, first time.
I was always a main road guy, and then I moved out of the area, but I'm back to go to the Etihad. I'm really excited, absolutely over the moon.
And you're excited about walking with the band to the ground?
Yeah, why not? About 20 minutes, I think, from the city centre, so yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
It's the first time we've come to see a Man City game. My son's a massive Man City supporter, so we've just come up for the weekend, and actually to be able to do this with a lot of other fans is fantastic.
You've been inspired today to
we
walk
have,
a bit
yeah,
further?
Yeah, we would have drove today, but we've decided to get the train in.
Excellent. Is City going to win today?
Definitely. Of course.
It's a good match, isn't it? Like they do abroad. They don't do it as much over here, but I think they should do it more often.
Are you in confident mood today ahead of the game?
Well, it's a sunny day, it's a blue sky. It tells us that we're going to win today. But the last time we played Palace here, it was a tough game, wasn't it? And that goal, speechless. Well, hopefully today we'll win. Clean sheet.
I think City win today, probably 2 or 3-1. Hopefully another worldie.
only this time for us rather than for them. But yeah, quietly confident.
City are playing some magnificent football at the moment, aren't they?
Last few matches have been absolutely brilliant. Back to our best, which is great to see. And hopefully they'll put on a bit of a performance for Pep's birthday.
Free-flowing football, I just get blown away by it. I don't know about you.
It's absolutely awesome. You know, it's the stuff we dreamed of back in the dark days. You know, we're playing absolutely fantastic football. Great footballers. What more can you ask for?
Representing the New York Sky Blues today, all the way from New York City. First time, it's my first time. Your first time at the Etihad.
Yep.
Like 10th time. He's been here.
At least.
He's more menked than all of us. Yeah. First time here. Excited to see what City do today.
I love New York. It's a great city.
Yeah.
But you've got other sports, other clubs. Why a City fan?
Have you seen Kun Aguero? the guy is amazing. That's basically why I'm here. He introduced me to City, so this is why I'm following the club.
Is the same for you?
Claudio Reyna.
Claudio Reyna.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking for a kid, an old kid of Claudio Reyna's if I can find one, you know. But yeah, fellow soccer, fellow New Jersey, so a big fan of his growing up. So
I was raised with it. Family, mom came to the States from Evansville, so it's all I've known all my life.
So father and son, what's it like watching him play?
Well, apart from heading and kicking every football that goes on in the game, is more so with Taylor's. It's an absolute joy, and I still pinch myself, but what a better club to be at.
What's it like having your dad watch you every game?
Oh, it's good, yeah. I like having his support at the games, and he'll let me know how I've done and after the game, and we have a good chat about it after the game, yeah.
Be honest, is he critical?
Used to be, not anymore. He can't, not anymore.
And you're a proper fan, aren't you? We obviously seen you at away games.
Yeah, I was a fan before I played for the club, so I'll go to the games and support the boys, so that's what I'd like to do, man. And I enjoy it.
Your lad plays for City.
I know, pinch me, say it again. Happy days, living the dream.
Lovely to see the two of you at the game.
Appreciate it, thanks for your support.
And just ahead of the players coming out onto this pristine pitch behind me, let's find out if a former player appreciates that playing surface as much as I do as a spectator.
Well, Lee Jackson is synonymous with quality at Manchester City in terms of all of his pitches, be it Main Road, be it at Platt Lane in previous days gone by, to this Etihad pitch today. It's absolutely supreme the way that he looks after it. You know, and nothing goes amiss with Lee. You know, he's almost a little bit obsessive about it, as you would imagine. But his standards that he sets are incredible. He's a top bloke. He's a proper blue, and everyone has got, you know, so much praise for his professionalism over the years.
I've been in bowling greens that are in worse condition than this pitch. Snooker tables. It's perfect, isn't it?
It is, and sometimes that helps other teams that come to the Etihad. But certainly, you know that it's going to be crisp, it's going to be beautiful, and if you can't play out there, then you just can't play.
I can't remember.
You sit pretty close to the pitch. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's absolutely brilliant. Yes, certainly is. More like a bowling green.
Is your garden at home as good as this?
I wish. I really do wish, yeah.
What are you thinking today then? Palace are tricky opponents. They won it last year.
Well, yeah. One of those teams again. I think we should do it though, hopefully. I'm one of these, I'm just happy with the 3 points. More goals the better, but 3 points is all we're looking for.
Are you confident today?
Yeah, I think we should smash them, but you never know.
That Moonchester's in the way now, and I was trying to film Lee Jackson because he's out there on the pitch somewhere looking after that perfect pitch, and it really is perfect as we get nearer to kick-off time. Thank you very much, Moonchester. So it's half time now. What are you doing there, Lee? You're putting the sprinklers on?
Yep, just a little bit of water for the second half, and just not too much though, just enough to keep it a bit zippy, and hopefully speed the ball up a little bit for the second half.
So what are you doing now, Lee? I mean, you've obviously got the fork out. We've seen people doing this, but what are you actually doing?
Just knocking back any damage that's been caused by the players when they've been sliding into tackles and whatever. You don't really get any divots on this type of pitch, but you've still got the scars, so we're just knocking them back and just trying to keep the pitch as level and as flat as we can for the second half for the players now the water's been on.
How many people are out here at the moment? Looks like about 10 to me.
No, today we've got 15, which is a lot for us, but a couple of games ago we only had 9, so it varies depending on what we've got planned for the rest of the week and what we're doing after the game, because we'll be here for a good 2 or 3 hours after the game as well, putting the lights on and repairing the pitch and cutting it as well afterwards, so it's not just at the full-time whistle it ends, it carries on for a good 2 or 3 hours for us.
So despite the match, you're fully focused, aren't you?
Trying to be, yeah, but it's got it to do. It's it's one of them things. If we're doing it, there's 45, 46 other sets of ground staff up and down the country this weekend going to be doing the same at their games. So just got it to do and keep going.
I'll let you get on with your job then. Thank you.
No problem.
Very strongly about that, don't you?
I think everybody feels strongly about it, Ian, but it's just that we got to make a mark, otherwise these people are not listening to us. It's an absolute travesty what's going on within the game, and we have to do something about it because it's killing the game, absolutely killing it.
In the south stand as well,
I believe there was. I mean, I've just done what I do, but other people are doing it now, and you've seen it around other grounds. There's open dissent about it, and people are not happy with what's going on. It's absolutely killing this game. We need to do something about it. We need to get them to change the ruling, but it's just making a mockery of the game.
Well, it was just City dominance basically, and one shot on target, Crystal Palace. I think it's nearly, but not quite. Loads of crosses, them defending deep, conceding space and possession, and I think it's only a matter of time before one of the Silvers or De Bruyne get a goal from distance. And having said that, they've got Jesus and Mahrez, who I think will make a massive difference out wide against the young full-back for Crystal Palace.
Talking about the pitch today as well, when you love to play on a pitch like that.
God, absolutely, it's massive and it's flat as a flute. Having said that, there was no better than Main Road, so I absolutely loved that anyway. So, but a pitch like that today, it's made for some tricky wingers. We haven't seen a lot of Sterling today because they've denied the space in behind for him to run into, but he can have a big bearing again in the second half. Fingers crossed for a City win.
Well, first time in a while, and I was really hoping it would be a City win today. Came all the way from London, and obviously a lifelong City fan. I couldn't have screamed as loud enough when that Sergio goal went in, and really disappointed to come away with just a draw. But I think on the whole, fair result. Palace did their bit of putting 10 players behind the ball. But anyway, we'll come back next week stronger. It's always a pleasure, by the way, watching you, Cheesy. Thanks.
I mean, what can we say? City have been like this all season, haven't they? I mean, there have been games where we've looked fantastic, and then games like this where we're just off for 80-odd minutes, and then there's 10 minutes of us being good. It's nice that Aguero's got more goals. Love to see him score, but just foul him. It's all that. We've been in the media have said a lot over the past couple of weeks, months, that City tactically foul a bit too much, don't they? But every team does it, and Zaha, you're one-on-one with Zaha, 89th minute, we're 2-1 up. John Stones just has to make that challenge, doesn't he? But I mean, to draw, probably deserved. I think a draw's probably worth it because we weren't very good, and we've got to play better than that against Real Madrid. It's the last thing, innit? Premier League's gone. The FA Cup would be nice. League Cup's the League Cup. I want the Champions League, and I think Pep does too. So if we go to Real Madrid in a couple of weeks' time and put in a performance like that, we're already out. So hopefully players can group together and figure out what needs to be done. Laporte's coming back, Sané's coming back. So I'm optimistic, but that wasn't fun to watch. And it's City, innit? So what can you do?
I thought we'll take the point. I thought we're not incisive enough. We're not quick enough when we're playing against these kind of teams. Very similar performance to last season. I thought the way they played, different team that we played last season, but similar kind of result. We got a point at the end of it. We didn't get anything last season, and we need to sort out how we play against teams that put 4 at the back and 5 in midfield and press. And
sometimes you've got to give a bit of credit to the opposition.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, the last season I was praising them at the end of the game last season because I thought they defended stoically. It was upsetting to watch, but sometimes the defensive performance is worth the points, and they got them. And it's happened to a few times. I thought it was very similar to the Newcastle game as well, where I thought when we scored against them, we were stealing the points away from the other team at the time. But we'll regroup, we'll come back. We've got some good games coming up. Hopefully we get to Wembley, which is closer to where we live than Manchester these days, because we drive up foot. It's a 400-mile round trip for us every time we come, and Wembley's more like a home game these days, so we'll go and play them there.
Frustrated, really, to be honest. The defence, I don't know why they dropped Garcia, to be frank, and 2-1 up at the end. It just frustrated me, and I'm just most frustrated.
So the game's over, Lee, but it's not over for you, is it?
No, we've got another 2 or 3 hours. Now, some of the guys are out divoting, as you've probably seen, and we're just getting some of the lights out ready because we have to clear them out the tunnel, which just makes it a bit easier for the away team coach to pull away after the game. So yeah, it's a bit more to go yet, and then back on it Monday, and we start again getting ready for Fulham next week.
Well, thanks for everything that you and your team do.
Just doing our job, Ian. That's all we're doing.
So that's the story of Lee Jackson and his ground staff and the march up to the ground and Crystal Palace, which finished 2-2. Disappointing when the team conceded in the last few seconds, but before that I thought they dominated the game. But just one of those days. But as I always say, it's great being a Blue, and that applies today just as much as anything. But what a privilege to actually stand out here on this glorious pitch to do my match summary. I don't think I've ever done this before. Thanks very much for watching. Of course, the next game is Sheffield United at Bramall Lane on Tuesday. I'll be there as usual, so look out for me. If you want to contribute to the matchday vlog, then you can do. Meanwhile, keep it blue. See you next time.
And as ever, a very big thank you to Hotclickmarketing, who can get your company to the top of Google searches. So give them a call. And thanks for your support, guys.